I told my parents that I want to be an astronaut, like most kids say when they're telling their parents what they want to do for their career. But really, my only dream before the age of 10 was wanting to raise a good family of my own. And even though I grew up in separate homes for more than half my life, I feel like I had a strong foundation in each home. I may not have believed it at times, but I had parents that really loved me, that were kind to me, and always willing to help me in any situation whatsoever. This lingering thought of wanting to start a family, it got muddled throughout the years, deciding what I wanted to be when I grew up. And it got me thinking about my grandparents. My grandmothers always had a strong foundation in their households, but both my grandfathers grew up without fathers. So this left a thought in me. How did they become good fathers themselves when they were lacking that parental role model in their life?
My name is John Manuel Araújo. I am 76 years old. I was a bartender, combination bartender and bar manager. I managed a bar for 42 years. My hobbies back then were playing soccer. Now walking is one of my hobbies. I walk all the time. I love to walk. So, and aside from that, I just relax and enjoy, eating. That's one of my biggest hobbies. I love to eat.
Well, my name is Frederick James Bradley, and I'm named after my father. And I am a graduate of the University of Western Ontario Business School, and I got my chartered accountancy degree after that. So I worked in finance one way or another for the better part of 40 years. My interests are primarily and have been sports of any kind. I love them all. Obviously, I love this team. I played a bit of softball, I coached minor hockey, skied a lot, tennis, and curled a lot. And my primary interest outside of those things are family, number one, and cars.
I'm making a sacrifice for you here today. This is Wednesday. That's my day to watch pornos, huh? This one here was taken at my grandparents' house, which is on my dad's side. Okay, that's on the backyard. It's in the backyard. That I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm about 2 years old there. Close. Wow. Yeah. So, and this is the only picture I have with both my parents together when I was that age until I came to Canada, because my dad immigrated to Canada when I was 5 years old, and then I didn't see my dad again until I was 17.
Do you remember like spending any time with him on the island?
Not really. At 5 years old, you don't remember much, you know. Yeah. So I don't have any recollections. I wish I did, but I didn't. I don't. So.
This is my family before I was born. So it's my father, my younger brother, my youngest brother, my oldest brother, my two sisters, and my mother. Dad went out west, then he came back. I think he was 21. It was 1914, I think. And he bought a store or a building, half a building, or rented, and set up a store in Stittsville. He was young, and he would have been about 22, and he started, I guess, then to build up the business. Anyway, when he died, he had a serious car accident which wasn't his fault, in 1942 or 41. And the car wasn't totaled, it was very seriously damaged, 1940 Chev. And my mother always said that he got a blow from the steering wheel in his torso, and she thinks that's what started the cancer. He died of cancer. So I don't think I never felt that it hampered me in any way, that I didn't have a father, present, sort of thing. So.
Yeah, as I said, Dad's drinking. That's another story that you'd have to ask him probably, but he says he started drinking when he was like 11, 12 or 13, come home from school and take stuff out of the liquor cabinet, and he just liked the taste of it. I know there are other theories that he was, possibly missing something in his life, like his own father, and felt like he was left out or missed out on something that his siblings had. So that could be part of the reason, some sorrow or sense of longing. But if you ask Dad, he'll say he just liked the taste. So that could be the case.
I remember my mom telling me this story that when my dad came home from work at night, okay, he would come home and have supper, and he would immediately turn around and go to the tavern. And she said, when I was a little boy, like 4 years old, I would go after him, run behind him, because I never saw my dad, during the day, and he would say, no, go back home, don't follow me. So he didn't want me to follow him. So I would go back to the house, and by the time my dad came home, I was already asleep. So my mom said, so he never really spent that much time with us. My grandfather was the same way. My grandfather didn't show any affection towards my dad. When I was young, I didn't understand that. As I got older, and then I understood why my dad was the way he was. He just didn't have the upbringing that he should have had as far as learning how to be a father and so on.
He was a physical man too. He chased them up the stairs with his brother, his sister, and his mother with a 2x4. And they had to jump off the second floor balcony to get away with him. And that's when he drank too much. My dad never spent time with us when we were little. He never spent time with us. I think I go by what she said. She said my dad shouldn't be a father because he just didn't know how to be a father.
There's a song by Bette Midler called "Did You Ever Know That You're My Hero?" And this lady asked me one day, who's your hero? And I had to think about it, but I very quickly, within a day or so, said, well, it was my mother. My mother lost her husband, who she loved dearly, when she was 43 years old. She had me as a baby when she was 43 years old. She ran a business for 10 years. She carried out my dad's will that as much as possible, all 5 of us got post-secondary education or training, and she was just a really wonderful person.
When you see these outfits that my brother and my sister are wearing, this is made by my mom. She was a seamstress.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my mom made these outfits for my brother and the dress for my sister. She was a great seamstress. My early days, the clothing, shirts, shorts, my mom made it for me.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, they didn't buy clothing in the stores for the kid. My mom would make for other kids too, like for money, obviously, but
Yeah.
But she couldn't do it very often. She had a very busy. She was very busy with us, and my grandmother was confined to bed because she was an invalid. So my mom had to take care of her mother and take care of. Well, my dad was here in Canada, so she worked very hard. I always, appreciated how hard my mom worked. She worked very hard. I was extremely close to my mom. Very close to my mom. When I grew up, I didn't have a father figure. I had my mom. My dad was here in Canada, so I had my mom. My mom was the person I looked up to. My mom was the one that, guided me. So I was very, very grateful for that because, she always thought me right.
My mom was my hero. I didn't know my dad, but I never ever, as I said, heard anything except praise of my dad from the people who lived here and all my relatives, really.
Never have I seen in my village a father show in public, I don't know what he did in private, show love for their kids, hug them, What I saw most of the time, which is not nice, was the kids being beaten up by their fathers. This I saw a lot. In public, when they misbehave, they don't just say don't do that. They go up to them and they smack them on the head, and that was a common thing. Anybody that comes from where I come from and grew up with a father like that, they'll tell you that. It's very rare to see a father, walk down the street holding hands with their son or showing them affection. My dad never showed affection to any of us. Never. Your grandmother witnessed some of it, but that's the way it was,
Yeah.
Never. Not once in my whole life my dad told me he loved me. Never once. My mom did, not my dad. So this is something that it's very important for a father to show affection and love to and praise them when they do something right. I'll tell you, late in life, what I did for my dad, even though he was not the best father, and he got sick at the end, right? But I didn't have that much time with my dad. That was a good time, but I did have, which is better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
But I never abandoned him. At the end, I did things for him that nobody else would do.
Wow.
And that's what you have to do. So that's just, my story.
I'm always inspired or surprised that he is such a fantastic father, given the fact that he didn't have a father himself. And maybe that's part of it, though, that he was inspired to do well because he didn't have one himself and didn't know what it was like to have one. But I know his siblings, like Uncle Bill and Uncle Ronnie, and especially Auntie Lane, were very good to him, and as he said himself, has spoiled him growing up, but I think they were definitely a good influence on him. My dad was an unbelievably great dad, never failed us. Could be grumpy at times once in a while, but always got everything done, always took care of us, always made sure honesty was the best policy in our house, and he learned that from somewhere and some people.
I think he did really well, considering he didn't have any guidelines because he didn't have his own father. I think he knew how to discipline them and was fair, but I guess did all right.
If I had to describe him as a father in 3 words. Supportive, caring, and dependable.
Do you think, knowing me, that I'd be a good father one day? Kind of a weird question.
I do. I do think you would be a very good father. Because I think that you're caring. I think that you are a good person, which is extremely important. And I think that I just think that you would really want to be a good dad, which is half the battle, right? Like you'd care. You would care about being a good father. And I think that means that you would probably be a good father.
Yeah. Well, it helps that I have a good mother.
Oh, thanks.
My father's just okay.
Oh,
He's not going to see that.
yeah. We'll make sure that goes in.
No.
Your father was an exemplary student and son. And he won the, I think it was called the Armstrong Award in grade 8. Grade 8, I think?
Yeah.
Elementary school. Which wasn't just about academics, it was about all-around student. And I was extremely proud of that accomplishment because it indicated a nice personality and a hard worker. And that pleased me to no end. Gavin was also extremely good in school, and he won the Gauss Math Award in grade 9.
No. He got the highest marks in grade 9 in the auto school board.
But he won the Gauss
Yes.
Math Award.
Yeah, that was another award.
And that was just part of the fact that he was excellent in math, but it was also, a tribute to the educational system as far as I'm concerned. And I guess the thing that is we never ever had any reason to be upset or concerned about our boys. They both have grown into great guys. And I think as a parent, that's all you hope for.
Today, I have a beautiful daughter. I have beautiful grandchildren, that I love very much. What more do I need?
Yeah.
I have your grandmother, even though she's a pain in the... Well, I mean, no, she's not. I'm the pain. Even though we both have a pain. Sometimes we can be a pain in the... But you know what? At the end of the day, we have a grandmother. When I came to Canada, I never thought my life would be what it is today. Look what I have, a roof over my head, food, beautiful family. My goodness, that's the most important thing. I always hope that I am a good example to my grandkids when they, one time if they have families and they look back and they go, oh, I remember my grandparents, I remember, remember us and remember what we were about, and be the same when you have a family. That's what you do.
Despite all the odds presented to them, they still turned out to be really great people and great dads. I think this is because they had great nurture and they had great nature. But after I was done filming this, I wasn't looking at them like my grandparents anymore, or family. I was viewing them as just human. And I think this honestly inspired hope for me, for my future.